What's up? You are now listening to Americanized, a storytelling podcast where you'll hear from eclectic first and second generation Americans share their stories and real life experiences as children of immigrants. Hey there, I'm your host Roslyn, and welcome back to another episode of Americanized. This episode will be a quick reflection on my relationship with time. Now, you know on Facebook how you can update your relationship status if you want your business out there, and they do have an option that says it's complicated. That's where I'm at with time. We're not quite married, we're not really dating, we're on and off, and it's really complicated. As a person of color and a child of immigrant parents, I've come to the conclusion that I've tied time to different things as I grew up. And initially, when I heard about the concept of CP time, or colored people time, if you're not familiar with the term CP time, I really was glued to that CP time. I'm a person of color, and I run late to things. I'm always running late. I idolize CP time. I glorified CP time. I was all for it. And to go to the next level, there is something called African time, which, say if CP time you're an hour late, African time could be anywhere from 2 to 4 hours late to you're going to show up at the last minute, but you'll still be there. It's like better late than never is the mentality for that. And I don't know why that is, and it's not every person of color who is late or every African who is late to things. There are a lot of punctual people of color that I know and I've met, and a lot of Africans who are also really punctual, and they don't play with that CP time, African time nonsense, and I really do appreciate that, and I've been saying that I'm working on my time management skills. CP time and African time is a stereotypical joke that people of all colors and shades tend to run late, or not even arrive to things late, but start things late. Any African party or Caribbean party or any gathering with people of color tends to start late. The invitation says 7 p.m., but they might not actually get things going until 8:30. So if you want to show up at 7, you might be helping the setup team set things up and get things ready. But yeah, that was a running joke for a while, and as I'm growing older, the more I'm realizing that this running joke is really not funny anymore, and it's really become an issue, just being anxious and worried about the time. So I wanted to talk about 2 terms that relate to the anxieties around time. There's one term that's really straightforward, time anxiety, and this is a constant worry about lateness, and this leads to excessive clock checking and route planning. This can really just negatively impact you all around, just because time is always passing. So to be anxious about time, I imagine, would be being anxious 24/7 because time is passing, and maybe you can't get caught up on your to-do list and you're always going to feel like you're behind. Time anxiety, not only is it worrying about lateness, but the passing of time. And I think, in a way, we all kind of experience this at different levels. And the second term that I wanted to bring up is chronophobia, which is the fear of time. This is also defined as extreme anxiety about time or the passage of time, which can lead to obsessive behaviors, anxiety, and depression. Yeah, I'm wondering, like, now that I'm identifying as having time anxiety, I don't know if I've just subconsciously trained my brain to think that way because I've been running on CP time for so long, and now that I want to be punctual, and there's a lot of stress around that, and it's not fun at all. There's a lot of stress and anxiety around time for me, and I'm trying to overcome that. So I've had to reflect on my relationship with time. So initially I tied it to, I'm black, I'm going to be late, this is a thing, this is what it's going to be. I I'm sorry, this is how it is. So that was how I was years ago. More recently, I've tied time to people and people's perceptions of me and what people might think of me if I'm late to this whatever event or meeting or work. I'm realizing that the way you manage your time really does reflect on you and your character, what you value and what's important to you. You know, if your job is important to you, you're going to make a point to show up on time. If this meeting is important to you, you're going to make a point to show up on time. If these classes that you're taking are important for you, you're going to make a point to show up on time. Especially when money is involved. I would be really attaching people's thoughts and perceptions to my lateness, and that added a whole nother level of stress. I'm already stressed that I'm late. Now I'm gonna be stressed about ruminating about what people are thinking because I'm late, on top of me being a person of color and the stereotype, and I'm really living out that stereotype that I thought was so funny before. Yeah, I don't want to be feeding into that stereotype that Black people are always late, but not to say that I always thought being late was funny. I was always stressed about being late. Now that I am a professional and I have a grown-up job and I'm an adult and everything, this whole CP time, African time thing that can just be in the past and not be a joking matter anymore, because when work is involved and, bosses are involved, it's different. Now the stereotype is not just a stereotype now. This is a reflection on your character and your worth ethic and what you value and what you find to be worthy and what you care about. So with my chronophobia or time anxiety, I've come to, this was very recently, a few days ago actually, I was talking about this with some friends, and the conversation of me being late to something always comes up as a cycle, because I went to bed late and I got up late and now my whole day is late and I'm rushing out the door and I'm making it late to work, and this person's probably thinking this about me and this person is seeing me coming late, all that stuff. And then I said, I don't need to attach my time management to people's perceptions, right? I need to let that go and tie the way I manage time. That is not my time. I was going to say my time, but time is, in the grand scheme of things, time is from God. So I'm going to link the way I manage time, the time that He has given me, to Him. How can I glorify Him with the time that He has given me? I think I'm even going to let go of using the phrase my time, but I probably won't actually do that. But for the sake of this, let me tie it back to the Creator, right? And I was talking with friends, and in everything that you do, you want to glorify God, even if you are, and I talked about this with Jason in the episode with Jason Townsend, the celebrity hairdresser, in the episodes Growing Up Half, Becoming Whole, the identity crisis that built a celebrity hairdresser. And he talked about how whatever you're doing, do it gladly, do it with a smile on your face, even if you are a custodian or sweeping or cleaning. And this goes back to my childhood, with your chores, whatever you're doing, this is how you glorify God. So for me, I had to tie that all the way back to, okay, with my work and my work ethic. Yes, on paper the job is working for people, but the jobs that we do, serving people and really serving God is important and a way to glorify Him. So if I'm not diligent with the time that I'm given from the jump, as in wake up time, morning, leaving the house, to start my day off right, and that throws everything off, that to me is not glorifying to our God, And instead of relying on that CP time identity and regularly being late, and instead of attaching time to people and how they perceive lateness, because I mean it is important, but I don't want to be stressed about that, I have evolved to tying time to God and glorifying Him with the time that He's given me. I love the quote that says, "Every day is God's gift to you, and what you do with it is your gift back to Him." So that's what I'm definitely holding on to, or trying to hold on to, and working on. It definitely promotes accountability and a different level of responsibility to yourself and to others, honestly. That's what I aim to walk in moving forward. Yeah, I've definitely held on to the African time trope for a little too long, to the point where it's not funny anymore. Like, let's move on from that. I'm curious to know, have you struggled with time management, and what has helped you overcome it? I'm definitely open to hearing any thoughts, suggestions, recommendations, because this has been a long-term issue that I just want to take full advantage of the time that I'm given. I don't mind waking up early. I do really enjoy early mornings and slow mornings and slowing down. I feel like I rush a lot, and I don't love to rush. I don't like that feeling, but it happens. So I'm, moving forward, I want to get out of that funk and just get it together. I want to get it together, and I want to put CP time in the grave. Like, that's done. But there will be moments, but just making a better effort. So yeah. Thank you so much for listening. I hope to catch you in the next episode. All original music produced by Stubborn Saul. You can find him on all music listening platforms at STBRNSAL.